Good evening and welcome to Body Balance. So we are going to be concentrating on movements that are going to help you just feel more balanced. So we're going to help to take away pain, bring in more muscular balance, and to be able to do a workout that is manageable, 30 minutes. The sessions that I do are live streams, exactly like this. They're recorded, but they are also performed first thing in the morning. So you can get the session done in live time, in real time, just as you're doing it now, or you can catch up. So it works for different people at different times of the day, but it's accessible and you can do it with little equipment and you can do it in the comfort of your own home. So you may be doing this session in your pajamas. It's all good. So we're going to start by warming up the body. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to step one leg forwards, we're going to travel the hips back, and then we're going to reach your hands down towards your ankle. You're going to swoop, exhale as you do so. Driving your hips back, shoulders back and down, reaching towards your big toe. Big deep breath in, exhale as you bring yourself up to standing and switch. Step the other leg forwards. Keeping your weight on the back leg, keeping your shoulders back and down. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you raise. And one more here. Standing nice and tall. We're going to tuck your chin. You're going to bring your hands to the front of your thigh. And then we're going to just travel the hips back. Softening the knees, traveling your hips towards the back of the room, and then pushing the world away as you stand. So it's not a shrug of the shoulder, it's actioning your hips back towards the back of the room, and then exhale as you stand. So we're hinging at the hips. So my chest is to the floor. Almost imagine that you've got a rope from the crown of your head to the coccyx. Drawing your shoulders back and down, but keeping your spine neutral. Exhale, raise. Now, option here is to just step back. Progression is you're going to step back and lunge. We're going to switch to the other side, unilateral exercise. We're pushing off the front leg as we stand. Big wide step, back knee down. Feet together. Option here, if you're struggling, step back. What I don't want you to do is to draw your shoulders back and then lean back. Keep your shoulders back and down, but keep your spine either neutral or a slight forward lean. So what we don't want to do is to flare the rib. Lower the back knee, feet together. Exhale. Last one here. Good work. Okay, we're going to bring ourselves down into a plank position. So you're going to bring your hands down to the floor, heel of the hands, and walk it down. You're going to bring yourself to a plank position, and then exhale. Now if that feels like a little step too far, touch the floor, throw an imaginary ball to the back of the room. Otherwise, walk it down to plank. Exhale, raise. Hold it low. Now, modify is to drop your knees. Otherwise, you're going to step one leg forwards. Open your chest, back to plank. Modify, drop the back knee, back to plank, and then bring yourself up to standing. Squat position, hips back and down. Exhale, raise. I'm going to turn the lights up. I'm going to turn the beats up. Alexa, turn it up. Exhale, raise. Hips back, squeeze. 2, 1. Are you feeling warm at home? I'm going to just have a little look if any of you are here with me, and you are. So we're going to start into the main session. I'm going to, for some reason, I have these on, and I don't need them on. So they're coming off. We're going to come into our first exercise, which is a squat to lunge. Option, think of the warm-up, is step backs. Yes or no? Alexa, turn it up. Are we ready? Alexa, turn it up. So first exercise. If you've got some equipment that you would like to use, if you've got a dumbbell or a kettlebell at home, you want to use it, please do so. But otherwise, start with your legs at hip distance. Chest lifted. Squat. Step back. Squat. Progression, we're going to add in that lunge. Legs at hip distance. When we lunge, don't bring the legs too close together. Lower the back knee, keeping the front knee tracking. Keep your shoulders back and down. Push off the front leg. How are we feeling? Lunge. Option, use a weight. Push off that front leg as you raise. And rest. So think of the warm-up and walkouts. Option, throw your imaginary ball. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. So this is really working into mobilizing the body. But what a great exercise here for the core. We're working upper body. Hold it. Plank position. Modify is to soften into a squat as you stand. Progression is to keep your legs lengthened. Don't drop your hips. Keep your spine neutral. Plank position. And rest. We're going to bring it onto your side. So elbow underneath your shoulder. Knees in line with your hip. Drawing your heels together towards the back of the room. What I want you to do is to keep your hips stacked. Exhale, lift the top leg away. So we're abducting the thigh. Your shoulders are back and down. If you're struggling, bring your hand down to the floor. If you want to work harder, bring your hand behind your head. And if you want to work harder still, arms in and lift. Inhale, lower. 2, 1, onto your back. So bilateral, modify is both feet to the floor. Lift and squeeze. Don't flare those ribs or arch the back. It's hip extension. It's squeezing the glutes as you raise. To work harder, one leg lifted. If you feel it into your lower back, bring it back down to bilateral, both feet to the floor. We're not doming here. We're drawing up through the pelvic floor, bringing your belly button away from your waistband, and knitting your ribs together as you exhale, raise. And then we're going to rest. We're going to continue bilaterally, or if you're feeling okay, you're going to lift that leg. You may feel a little wobbly onto one side compared to the other. That's normal. We're looking at keeping your shoulders grounded. Control, push through the heel. How are we feeling? Strength exercise. Working unilaterally. Finding any imbalances. There's no escape here, is there? Clam.
elbows from back behind you. You can bring your hand to your hip to ensure that they're stacked. Modify, hand to the floor. Progression. If you're feeling really good here, we can lift as we abduct the hip. So this is your progression. Modify is onto the floor, but you're keeping those hips stacked and drawing that knee, abducting it away. Brace and rest. We come to press ups. Now option, you can use your hands on a sofa if you struggle with press ups. I'd rather you did that than go onto your knees. But your modify here is tuck your hips, elbows in a 45-degree angle, and bring yourself down to the floor. Reach your hands out wide, elbows to the back of the room. Progression is to lengthen the legs. You're going to lower down under control. Now if you're struggling, up onto your knees, and then try and lower with your legs extended. Everything lowers down together. Don't flare those elbows, 45-degree angle. This time, elbows just below your shoulder. And what we're going to do here is bring your hands down, supinated position. We're going to just peek and look at the wall in front of you. Extending the spine, extending the hip. Inhale, lower it down. Eyes down. It's not about going super high. It's about engaging, using your breath, exhale, and articulating your vertebrae. Keep it going. And rest. We go back to the beginning. How are we feeling? So squats, remember step back is your option. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. You can use a weight. Working here, quad dominant. Big wide step back. Don't let that front knee cave in. Keep your chest lifted. Get that depth on the back knee. Option is just step backs. Working here on knee stability. But strengthening. Come on. Use your depth. If you feel it in your lower back, don't go as low. Keep your chest lifted. Hand walkouts. Remember, throw the imaginary ball as you modify. Cue the hand. Let's go. What it's not is to drop the hip and to put junk in your trunk. Keeping everything knitted together as you bring it down into plank. How are we feeling? Modify, soften the knee. Plank position. And rest. Clown. So, option, modify, down to the floor, hips are stacked. Exhale, lift. Progression, hand behind the head. You want to work a little harder. Elbow under your shoulder. Add in the Extending the hips forwards. Pushing your heels together. Modify. Watch that those hips stay stacked, that your heels stay together. Exhale. Squeeze. Good work. Onto your back. So remember, modify both feet to the floor. If you want to work a little harder here, you could use a dumbbell. Otherwise, we're going to go into a unilateral exercise. We want the knee to be over the ankle. So that leg is in a crook position. The leg that's extended, the knee is soft. No flaring of the ribs. So engage the pelvic floor, draw the belly button in, and knit your ribs together. Keeping the spine neutral, working on that hip extension. Squeeze. Push down through the heel of the leg that's supporting you. And rest. So if you're going bilaterally, you're going to just take a second, you're going to repeat. Otherwise, legs lifted. So a sign you're working too hard. You might feel it in your lower back. You may not be able to keep your hips stable. So you want to keep those hips as stable as you can as we work into hip stability. No doming of the core. Draw. Lift the pelvic through the pelvic floor. No downward forces. Stay strong. Who knows these beats? Who's of my generation? Come on. And into that side plank position. Working the booty. Option. So this workout is suitable for all abilities. And it's a little taster of how we can start to bring in some body balance. It's not all about calories, burpees, finding ways to strengthen our body, stabilize our body. How are we feeling? Three, two, press ups. My favorite option, elevate your hands on a sofa, even onto the wall. So even if you come to the wall, you can modify. Otherwise, hands onto a sofa. If you don't have a sofa to hand, onto your knees. Progression. Walk your hands away. Don't flare the elbows. Keep them nice and close to your body. If that's too much of an ask, lift up onto your knees and then control the negative. Progression. We lower in full. Elbow in line just below the shoulder. Fingertips to the front of the room. Eyes down. Extend through the hip. Extend through the spine as you exhale. Inhale, lower. Mobilizing your thoracic spine. Gaining control as we articulate your vertebrae. Using your breath. And rest. We've got a little push-up. So if you want to, you can again modify this by elevating your hands. Otherwise, plank position. Are we ready for 3, 2, 1, high plank. What I'm looking for is your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder to be aligned. What we don't want to do is to drop the hips. What we don't want to do is to have the wrists out in front of you and the hips piking. If you want to work a little harder, we don't need to really lift the legs super high, just a little march. Modify here is to elevate your hands. 3, 2, 1. Final exercise. Tabletop position. Imagine you've got a tail from the back of your head and a ribbon to the wall in front of you. Curl up onto your toe, lift and lower. Progression, lift and hold. Further progression. Opposite hand to opposite shoulder. Imagine you've got a glass of Prosecco on your lower back. Keep it there at all costs. It can be hot chocolate, but think about keeping your hips still. Modify lift and lower. Hip stability, anti-rotation of the core. 3, 2, 1, child's pose. Alexa, turn it down. How we doing? This time, you're going to bring yourself forward, drop down to your elbows. Bring your knees a little wider. Keeping your shoulders drawn back and down. Engaging your core, drawing your belly button away from your waistband. Draw your hips back. Almost as if you're trying to get a pencil to point towards the wall behind you. And release. We're going to bring yourself into a plank position. Modify to your knee. Step one leg forwards. If you're feeling comfortable here, again, remember it's a cool down now, onto your knee. Otherwise, drop down to your elbow if you're feeling comfortable. Modify. If you're struggling, bring yourself up. 2, 1. We switch legs. Modify, drop the back knee. Go as far as you feel comfortable, but try and keep your heel down. Now if we're feeling good here, back knee down, she'll modify, but engage the glutes. Bring your body weight forwards. If you're feeling comfortable here. Now if this is a position you can't get into, you need to come and see me. 2, 1. Bring yourself back. Now this time we're going to walk our hands to our toes. Slowly, slowly. Super slow. Bring yourself up to standing. Shoulders back and down. How are we feeling? Woo. A little more flexible. A little, maybe you've got endorphins. Maybe you're feeling good. We're going to this time. Great mobility exercise here. Shoulders back and down. Reach up, arm in line with your ear. Thumb to the back, towards your traps. And see if you can bring your hand to touch. If you can't, use a towel, but aim to work towards it. And rest. Let me know if you did this session. Let me know if you enjoyed it. There's 2 more sessions programmed onto my main page. So there's legs, bums and tums, and there is Powerhouse. So please join me for those sessions. I would love to see you there. Please like and share this if you enjoyed it. Otherwise, I'm going to say thank you for sharing your Monday evening with me. It's been good. It's been good fun. Thanking you. Any questions? If you would like to know more about my plans, please comment below, send me a DM, or alternatively, have a look on my website, www.bethanddavis.fitness.com, and we start our next plans on the 1st of January. So if you want to make a start for 2024, we start on the 1st of January. We are working straight off. I will see you there. Adios. Much love. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your hard work. You're so welcome. I got some lovely people here. Loved it. You're so welcome. Much love.